That music means the band is back together. The Reverend John T. Kaleda and I are back with you for another great night of basketball here in the Bear Gym after some absences on both of our parts, some technical difficulties on the side as well. But everything is working, and we are here. John, it is great to be back in the booth with you.
Isn't it, Jim? Basketball season here in full swing. We got and now of course I mean my first and second grade daughter's basketball seasons. That's what I'm truly focused on right now, which is why I haven't been here. I'm sorry, but happy to be back here tonight.
Tonight, the Lady Bears have quite the test in front of them. Perennial pack powerhouse Perk Valley comes into the gym tonight, and it's going to be a tough matchup for these Bears. But, John, you were mentioning there's a glimmer of hope for the Lady Bears.
Yeah, sure. I mean, and we'll be straight shooters with our viewers tonight. It is, like you said, it is going to be a tall task for Lady Bears to keep up with PV. But honestly, it's going to be a tall task for any District 1 competition to step up with Perk Valley this year. I think we said it 2 years ago when watching Perk Valley play here against our Lady Bears, and we said, "Ooh, wait a minute, they're all freshmen? Oh, give this team a couple years, right?" We said that. So this is in PV's window here where they have a real opportunity to do something. So good for them. Everything cycles through, and this has cycled into their window. But we were talking earlier about the Lady Bears here, and they actually got a player now back from injury, a awful injury here. I know there was some really bad stuff involved. I can't even keep it all straight. But Chloe Engler just got her back, a good ball handler here, gives the Lady Bears some much-needed depth at that guard position, and you're still going to see the same old stuff that you usually see from these Bears, right? You're going to see Madeline Weaver try and take care of some scoring. You're going to see Tessa Wolf fight down low. You're going to see the likes of Shimikonis and Haycock just trying to be gnats out there on defense, and I don't know if, honestly, a win is your goal tonight, but your goal tonight, if you're the Lady Bears, get some positive looks offensively. See if you can work on something. Keep it within striking distance for a little bit. Maybe even make Perk Valley call a timeout here in the first quarter if you can, and just play hard.
John, you mentioned that. I just looked it up while you were talking. 16-0 Conestoga, CB East, and Upper Dublin, the only three teams ahead of Perk Valley in those District 1 standings. We'll take a break here for the national anthem and starting lineups, and we'll be back for the tip here from Bear Gym. assisted by the Bauman family, John, making it easy on yourself.
Yes, I mean, there's a lot of them down there, right?
There are. Just to give them the proper due, that is Tim Bauman, Allie Bauman, and Lisa Bauman. Nope. Leslie Bauman. Sorry, Mrs. Bauman.
And you put the one who's not as important as the other two in front, and Tim would be the first one to tell you that. Leslie and Allie are way more important than him in this operation here, but that's fine.
Yeah, and I think he'd be the first one to admit
He'd be the first one to tell you that. So we've talked about this, though. It's always great to have.
As we see Allie pushing him down the seat on the bench.
Get out of here, Dad. It's always great to have those former players, those former coaches come back and just help in the program, and you want to see volunteers stick around and work with your future players here. So it's great that Coach Sweisfert was able to wrangle all of them this year to help them out.
Right off the tip, Perk Valley controls. And Boyertown's going to start out what thought was a man-to-man, but they're in a 2-3.
Yeah, they're standard 2-3. They have worked to put a little bit more pressure up top. However, that does put some real pressure on your guards to not allow that pass to the high post like they just did, and Perk Valley does a nice job going high to low right there to start.
Who's at the line, John?
11.
That is Lena Stein. One thing that is not good here in the booth is being able to see these numbers horizontally. They don't wear them on their sleeve. Perk Valley's going to come out in a full court press. See if Boyertown can handle this. That's a quick steal there by Anna Stein. She converts. Quick 5-point lead for the Vikings. We had a push-off there.
Oh, geez.
Yep, Nicole Shemakunas didn't get away with that one. Should be gray ball.
He did say white, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. It's gray ball.
Good try, Madeline.
Yeah. Someone's got to tell Tessa Wolf that it is gray ball. There they come. Nice little cut there from Bella Bikini. I think we're saying that right.
I don't know.
Bacani.
Bacani, probably?
Bacani. There's an A there.
Well, Perk Valley doing a nice job of attacking the middle of that zone right there, and Boyertown's going to have to find a way to just kind of shore that up. Nice pass by Engler right there to Wolf.
Chloe Engler is quickly into the game for the Bears. Ooh, nice little Euro step. Anna Stein with 2 more. Good job by the Bears getting through that one. Nice long skip pass to the other side of the court. Trying to find Engler on the cut. Perk Valley's going to run. They'll set up an offense and see if Boyertown can do something with this high post. They get it. That high post ends up going down low, and they were able to convert.
Yeah, I mean, it's we had said this before the game. We all know the records here, right? We all know what's happening here, and I'm sure that the girls know as well. They know that Perk Valley is the odds-on favorite right now to win the league championship. And we said before the game, the big goal right now is you just need to play hard. And unfortunately now, Coach Spicer had to take a timeout to try to pump the girls up a little bit, down 11 here early. But there can't be any hesitation tonight with the girls, and there can't be any sort of timidness right now. You need to just take every punch that PV gives you, and you need to counter. If it's a turnover, you just bust back and you try to get back on defense and play. If you're going 100% tonight and you're wrong, that's fine. Can't go half speed against a team like Perk Valley.
Perk Valley working on their full court pressure. Good job to reset there for Boyertown. They'll get the ball back. Like to see them try to find middle of the court here, breaking this press. Having difficulty getting a start. There's middle of the court. Quickly turned over, though. That corner three is good. Another one from Anna Stein. A little bit too hot on the pass from Engler over to Weaver. Perk Valley's just having their way right now. 2 more for Grace Miley.
Yeah, you're in a situation now where you need just something positive for the Lady Bears to just try to end this, and that's going to be, a good shot, which they haven't really gotten yet, or a made bucket here. But, Perk Valley, their pressure is just giving the Bears trouble. They have 3 girls. They're kind of taking that girl off of the inbound passer and putting her right out to take care of those 2 girls or 2 guards who are trying to get the ball. I think they had the right idea in going over top of that when Greaves got the ball around midcourt, but with this PV defense, it is easy to see they're just coming at you. You got to catch, jump, stop, get your elbows out, and kind of survey the floor before you do anything. If you just try to go, PV is going to get you.
There we go. Good job by Boyertown to get through that press.
And PV, we said this with, oh gosh, what game was it? Was it Springford possibly? I forget. If that pressure defense, if it just speeds you up a little bit, it gets you out of your comfort zone. This is why, I think pressure defenses are kind of underutilized in today's game. They used to be all over the place 20 years ago, and now, coaches have gone back to kind of just half court, kind of style basketball. But if you can put pressure on another team and just get them out of their comfort zone just a tad bit, you get passes like that right there. You exactly knew where Engler and Wolf were going to be. It was just it had to be a hair quicker than she wanted, and now it's out of bounds.
They got someone deep if they can see it. Good job by Grace Haycock. They're going to be able to get possession down in their end of the court. Weaver with a long 3 off the back of the rim. I'm impressed with Grace Miley from Perk Valley so far. She's listed at 5'9". She certainly looks like she's towering over everyone out there.
When I walked down to get the lineups, I was not the tallest one down there. 6 foot me. I was certainly not the tallest one out there. There were certainly some girls on PV who had me by a couple inches.
There's good defense there from Weaver. A quick baseline basket by Lena Stein. PV backs off the pressure with a sizable lead here in the first quarter. Weaver tries to cut into that lead. Rebound Lady Bears, and here they go. Great little step over, and you can see why they're the 4th-ranked team in the district, John.
Yes, you can see this, and it's not just one player, is it? I mean, it is just it seems like every girl kind of has their role and then does it to perfection here. But again, Lady Bears, we said this before the game. This is going to be a game where can you work on something here? Can you find something that's positive here that you can use the rest of the year? And Lady Bears still have plenty of time to find it, but right now it's been all PV.
Another timeout by Coach Swifer, 2:38 to go in the first quarter. John, I see you stopped at McDonald's on the way to the game today.
There's a new Big Mac. Did you read about this?
No.
It's a new. They tried to, update their classic sandwich to do a little bit more competition with the other big fast food chains out here. So I read about that today, and I'm like, I got time. Maybe I'll go get one. And do you know what, Jim? Tastes exactly the same.
Well,
It is exactly the same. They like we I think I read they only make like 6 burgers at a time now in their little tray and not 8, so it's going to be fresher. And they did change the bun to be a brioche bun,
ooh.
which you can tell that is different. It's not that sesame seed bun, but it's the same thing. It's the same ingredients.
Well, I will admit, I think I believe it's 2C on the order menu. It's the
Yeah, I've memorized.
quarter pounder with bacon.
Uh-huh.
I will have to say, I can taste the difference.
Really?
And the biggest difference is it's real bacon, as opposed to I think they use pre-cooked before. It tastes like real bacon, and I am much more impressed with the new quarter pounders.
Does bacon go on any meal and immediately make it worse?
No,
No, right?
no, it does not. Here's angler shot is also long. I have yet to try though. I hear people good defense there by Boyertown forcing that turnover. I hear people have eaten and tried like chocolate covered bacon.
I've heard that.
It's supposed to be like the sweet and salty mix. Is supposed to be
If we Yes, the sweet and salty. If we do this, is this weird? We will go to the State Theater in Boyertown, famous State Theater. We can plug that local business right here. Um, my wife and I actually got engaged at the State Theater. There's Madeline Weaver, first bucket. But we'll just go there and just get popcorn and leave. They look at us like we're crazy. They're like, "Do you want to stay for the movie?" I'm like, "No, I'll just get popcorn, and then we'll go home. Extra butter, of course. But I always got to get like a little Nestle Bunch of Crunch or
yeah,
something, because you need that after a handful of popcorn, right?
yeah. I actually would go and have a little can of peanuts at home, and we had some leftover bags of M&Ms from Halloween,
Mm-hmm.
and I would just a little container with some peanuts and some M&Ms, and there's my sweet and salty.
How much of your son's Halloween candy made it into your office this year?
Not a lot,
Not a lot.
because it didn't make it out of the house.
There you go. Dive around the floor. Good for the Shimmaconis. There you go. This is the kind of effort, and I want to say that the Lady Bears have looked a little timid to me, and I get it. When you see Perk Valley coming on the floor, you see how like what a well-oiled machine they are. You see the record. I get it, but just throw that out, right? Throw it out. Who cares? You're already in this position here in the first quarter. Just go play. Go dive on the floor. Go 100% here. Give everything you got, because the result is not what you're gonna want, obviously, but at least leave here saying to yourself, here, listen, we did this positive and this positive. Lady Bears again still have 3 quarters to make sure they can do that. They just gotta start working a little bit harder.
There we go. On cue, Madeline Weaver steps in front of a pass, and she is going to almost go coast to coast. Didn't realize how close we were to the end of the quarter. It explains why she was a little bit forceful on that. But it's a mountain to climb here at the end of the first quarter. See what the Lady Bears can do coming out. And we've said it time and time again that we'll see the effort. They're going to have that constant effort. And we'll hopefully continue to see that from them.
Yeah, this is a time when you just got to reset. You only have a minute to do it as a coach, but you got to reset every single player's mindset right now. And I am sure before the game, conversations were had about, hey, listen, if things don't go our way, and on this side of the ball, we got to make sure that we're doing what we can on this side of the ball. I'm sure those conversations were had, and now you just remind everybody about the conversations you had about what to do against this team before the game and during practices the last couple of days. This is a team that is obviously very solid. They don't have many weaknesses in that defense, and it's going to be tough for the Lady Bears to get the shots they want. But that doesn't mean you can't get to the spots that you're coached to get to. That doesn't mean that you can't try what the coaches are trying to give you with these plays and with these offenses. And the Lady Bears just got to trust it. Just trust it. Trust that what you're being told to do is, putting you in the best position to succeed, and just go work and see if you get something.
So you're saying trust the process.
Trust the process and score 70 points in a game, huh? How about that?
That was just remarkable last night.
Somebody somebody put up like 60 last night, and,
Yeah,
and just
Carl
like
Anthony Town put up 62.
no one cares. No one cares.
Well, the fun part about last night was the fact that Joel Embiid was going head-to-head against Victor Wembanyama. And
Who had a good game too, right?
he had a very good game,
Yeah, right.
but I tell you what, Joel took him to school on multiple plays.
You know how good he was, obviously, the last couple of years, but just getting who would have thought that getting everybody away from him would have made him seem that much better. I mean, I think everybody was kind of like, oh, how are they going to be this year without that next star? Great, my gosh, I'd rather watch them this year than the last couple of years.
Oh, absolutely. So much more fun to watch. So, proposed at the State Theater? Did you write "Will You Marry Me, Abby" on the marquee out front?
No, buddy of mine helped me out. He was into making some videos, so I actually put together a fake movie
Ah.
preview. So we went there. We actually lived right across the street. Ted was playing.
Okay.
And she wanted to go see Ted. So talked to the theater, made the preview. It was had the green, screen before, so you thought it was just a preview. And then a song started playing from the Four Seasons. We're big Four Seasons fans. It was kind of like, what's this? And some pictures came up there, and some text type, up there, scroll, asked her to marry me. We stand up, theater lights come on, I go to my knee, everybody's, cheering. They don't know what's going on until it happens. Our parents are snuck in the back, they're watching, everybody's cheering, having a good time. And then I said, all right, let's head out, let's go celebrate. And
she wanted to stay and watch the movie.
she's like, oh, we're not going to stay and watch the movie? I'm like, no, get out of here. What are you talking about? Stay and watch Ted.
That's good. Tell you what, for as good as Perk Valley is playing, they have a freshman here, number 15, Lauren Binkowski, who is just as good, it seems, as the starting five that left the court already.
Is she on the floor?
Yeah, number 15. Is that a 15 right in front of us?
25? 35?
Oh, sorry. Make that Grace Galbaffi. Oh, boy, my eyes are awful, and the numbers are not super clear.
I am sure that if she is a freshman, who is this? Katie Nimick. There is one freshman on the varsity roster for PV, and I am sure with this roster, to be a freshman, even considered to be on the varsity roster, you got to be pretty solid.
Oh, that is a 35. And there is the aforementioned Grace Galbaffi. We talk about this all the time in football. There are just some color patterns for jerseys that are just impossible. And this orange on it it's not great.
we We discuss, and I'm sorry to all of our Perk Valley listeners every year who have to tune into this and hear it, but we talk about the PV uniforms I think every year because they've gone through some many iterations of these unis. When I was playing, it was orange and that was their away. When we were coaching in the early 2000s, they had a couple years where they went with like a brown. It was like brown and burnt orange. This is back when the boys were playing with the football player. We mentioned him the other day.
Jaworski.
Jaworski. I think that's around his time. And then now they're going to this great. They just can't figure it out. Listen, you chose orange and white as your school colors. Lean into it, baby. It's orange. Go orange.
I guess this is the like an alternate jersey, maybe.
Oh, maybe
Alternate
maybe it
colors.
is. Maybe they have three. Good call.
Like the Sixers City uniforms.
Did they wear them last night?
Yes, they did. So I'll share my engagement story with you that I thought
Ooh.
was relatively. So for a Christmas present, my wife had gotten me. We had gotten something, and in order for me to figure out what the present was, I had to open this box, and there were all these little puzzle pieces that I had to put together.
All right.
So the puzzle then gets put together, and I see the picture of my present, and all was well and good. But the funny part about it was I couldn't figure out what it was a picture of.
So what? So you were like, "Oh, gee, thank you," and you had no idea what it was.
I admit it. I'm like, I have no idea what this is. So what I did was
Do
I
we
took,
do our viewers get to know what it is?
yeah, it was a we went on a trip.
Oh, okay.
So I put together a collage of pictures. In the upper left-hand corner was a picture of my brother-in-law, Will. The upper right-hand corner was a picture of a sheep, like a female sheep.
Oh my God, I see that. I see where this is going.
Lower left-hand corner was a silhouette of Mary Poppins. And then the lower right-hand corner was a picture of Danielle and me with an arrow pointing to me. So she puts the puzzle together. She looks at me and she says, "Will sheep Mary Poppins us?" What does this mean?
This, the U is tough. Actually, you probably should have done like the Miami Hurricanes logo.
Yeah,
You know,
okay.
the U.
Yeah.
You know, maybe.
Oh,
But
but then she would have said, "Will Miami
Yeah, that's
University Mary
That's
Poppins
true.
us?"
That's true.
So I had to tell. I said, "A female sheep." She said, "You will you marry Pop?" And then she got it.
Oh.
So we haven't given puzzles much for presents since then.
No, before kids, the wife and I thought that we were going to be puzzle people. We had this plan of like we were going to like do puzzles and like frame them, and it was going to be this bonding thing. And we got so frustrated with the first one. We also picked. We said let's be puzzle people, and I said, "Have you ever put a puzzle together?" No. She said, "Have you?" I'm like, "No, not really." We went and got like a picture of a table that had like 6 Italian pastas on it, and it was 1,000 pieces. Why would it?
So you're jumping right into the
we
deep end
we
of the
went
pool.
into it, and we said we just can't do this. We got frustrated. We left a piece or two on the floor. The dog ate them, and we said we're never going to be able to finish. And we said that's it. We're done. We just threw it away.
First of all, I'm surprised neither one of you with a history. Where do you randomly come up with "let's be puzzle people"?
We talk about this all the time. Before kids, what what did we do? What did we do? We were members of the YMCA for a little bit, and we like could never get to the Y. How come? What were we doing? Like, what did we think was so important in our life that we had to do? We just sat around. We're just like, let's do a puzzle, and then we couldn't do that, so we just sat around some more.
And then you have kids and you can't do
And
anything.
now we can't do anything. Now I go to the Y to coach first and second grade girls basketball. There you go.
And I'm sure that team is going to be one of the best foul shooting teams the Y has ever seen. Because you've had one practice. I'm sure they heard about how Coach won a foul shooting contest.
They actually sat there and I said, "How many do you think I can make in a row?" And they just watched me for about 35 minutes just shoot. And if any of them got up or talked, I quick shushed them. You know.
He shushed them.
Well, the Lady Bears, they need to find a way to try to get something going to the bucket, and PB's aggressive, and they're playing good defense here. I like that pick and roll screen that was set up top. You need to find a way to just knock these PB defenders off their path a little bit. But it's going to take you getting a little physical. It's going to take that physicality. You're going to have to, again,
That.
Yes. Go ahead. Like knock somebody around. Don't injure anybody, but be a little bit physical. And right there, gosh, who was it?
That was Isla.
Stein for PV drives in, and the Boyertown defender, I think it was Morrell, kind of like let her go because that's not my spot. Nah, not tonight. It doesn't matter what your job is on the 2-3, your specific responsibility. Your job tonight is get in front of somebody and be aggressive and be tough tonight. That's your job, and Lady Bears definitely got to talk about that at halftime and try it out in the second half.
And this is absolutely not the night. And there's some aggressiveness again. Great job by Isla Greaves. Second time down the court, getting her hands on the ball. But this is not the night of any nights. Just nothing is falling for the Lady Bears either.
Right, and any shot they're taking when you have these this height of PV standing in front of you, it's different. It alters your shot a little bit.
Well, that'll do for the first half. And if the Lady Bears had a hill to climb after the first quarter, they've got Everest to climb here in the second half. Down 54 going in at halftime. Looks like Perk Valley will start with the ball.
And it's not like Everest hasn't been climbed. And again, we're not going to sit here and say the Bears are going to come back and win this game. But right now, Coach Weisford's job and the rest of the staff's job is not to even talk about X's and O's type stuff. It's just, hey, listen, change your mindset right now. And this is, programs go through lulls, and like we just said, PV was a win for the Bears on the schedule. The couple, few years ago, things cycle through, and obviously PV has this group where look at this roster, just junior, one senior in all this. I mean, they got a crew that they have done a very good job coaching, and that has obviously gelled, in their time together. And there comes a time when you just have to have a group, whatever it is, just say like, we're done. We're changing this thing. We're changing the outlook for this team. And if I'm Coach Weisford, I'm in there saying that right now. Like, when's that switch gonna flip? Are we the group? Are we the group that's gonna start to pick us out of the rut that we're in right now? And it doesn't have to be a win that does that for you, but it does need to be aggressive, sound basketball where you're listening to your coaches, you're playing with each other, you're trying things that work within your offensive system, and talk to the girls a little bit, try to pump them up a little bit, say, listen, you have a second half to do something positive. Who's done something positive so far? What, not many of you? Go do something positive right now in the second half.
We'll have that second half for you here in about 8 minutes. Back in Bear Gym. We are back. Bear Gym. Again, Boyertown. Lady Bears going to try to chip away at this 54-point lead they have facing them here against the Perk Valley Vikings. See what they can do coming here at the second half. Perk Valley will have the ball. Three timeouts for the Lady Bears, 5 for Perk Valley. Don't see many of them being used.
Probably not. But within this time, again, I don't know how many different ways I can say it. Do something positive right now for your team. You know, take a charge, body somebody up, push somebody away from the block where they want to get set up. Go ahead and skirt your own responsibility in the zone because you see a teammate that's out of position and you're going to go help them. You know, it's not, sometimes it's not about, well, my job is no. Your job is to not let that team in gray get close to that bucket. If that means you got to step a little bit out of your zone right there to go help and then quick get back to where you got to be, go ahead, do it. But move around, play some ball here.
And right off the bat, Bella Bacani, we'll say Bacani. Lady Bears able to get through a little bit of the motion here. Nice drive from Madeline Weaver, and she'll be going to the line.
You know, would have loved to see that motion a little bit quicker when it goes side to side there. But we've said for a couple games this year that the Lady Bears try to hit cutters and they try to hit rollers off of screens. Maybe just one or two ball reversals too early, right? They're not totally comfortable yet, with their own ball handling and passing where they can say, listen, we're gonna make a couple of ball reversals and then start. Even on two ball reversals right there that weren't the quickest, still you get something going to the basket when you're able to make the defense work for a little bit longer than 5 to 10 seconds. So finally some good execution there by the Lady Bears.
Perk Valley able to break through that press. They're going to pick up man-to-man here coming back off the make. Nice little screen and go. Unable to connect. Not a bad idea. Lady Bears able to pick up the loose ball, and they're going to be able to go the other way. Good movement, good cutting again, John. Just nothing falling for the Lady Bears tonight.
Yeah, it was a good roll right there. Again, held the ball for more than a couple seconds there, ran a couple of ball reversals, and they got that roll. Tough shot there, but still one that one that PV has made tonight, right? And that's a big reason why you said they're what, number 4?
Number 4.
The District 5, yeah. So this is, and if you look at their schedule, I'm pretty sure that they've kind of, done what Spring 4 has been known to do. They, found a way to get some, very good District 12, Philly teams on their schedule here. Maybe even think there was a game or two that don't even count for the PIAA rankings because they're teams that are, kind of not within that PIAA system. They don't reward you for playing those teams, but the reward is you kind of, test your mettle a little bit and you get playoff ready in those games. And I think PV has a lot of those games, and you can see why, right? They look like they have, that aggression that is needed. They have the wherewithal to know where to be on offense and defense. It looks like they've played together for many, many years, and it's kind of how it is nowadays. You kind of grow up together playing basketball here. So after the pack season is done, which I am, if you're a betting man, you're probably laying odds right now on PV here. But after the pack season, it's going to be fun to see them and what they can do in the districts and the states.
Yeah, I believe I'll have to pull it back up again, but I believe Springford was 7. Yes, Springford is 7 in District 1 standings.
Good job by Wolf to get right ahead of the PV defender right there. Good look from Weaver there.
Tell you something about the pack this year, John. The Perk Valley 4, Springford 7. Next pack team is not until 26.
Top heavy a little bit, huh? Well, now also, I wonder in 5A.
Oh, true.
What we have there. I wonder.
Yeah, good point.
If anybody's high there.
Keep forgetting about that when we talk about the pack. So you were saying, John, the playing teams outside of the PIAA does not count towards district points.
No, and that's why you're never going to see like Boyertown play the Hill School, right? Like we're like right next door to each other. It would make sense. We could probably scrimmage or something like that, but usually you just kind of stay away from that because playing a team like the Hill School doesn't give you any sort of points. I mean, it's almost like you're taking a game and you can't now play a PIAA team with that game. It's almost like coaches feel like you're wasting that opportunity to get points to improve your ranking. However, if you have a squad like Perk Valley and like Springford did a few years ago, you're pretty much set that, all right, listen, we're going to be a high seed. We're going to have a favorable ranking regardless of what we do. Let's go schedule a really good team, treat it like a playoff game, and see if we can get any better.
That getting closer. I'd hit every part of the rim.
Yeah, I mean and the Bears have had more success with getting into that lane, right? Whether it's on a fast break or whether it's that roll we saw off of that screen or a couple of ball reversals there. So, I think you're at a situation now where it's not like you're fighting to put that 3-pointer up, to cut into a lead that you're trying to, then get a win, right? So, work on moving that ball here. If that's been an issue, and I think it has been for the Lady Bears this year, can you get the ball from one side of the floor to the other? Work on it right now. Make sure you're getting the ball from one side to the other. When you get that drive, then if you're Angler, you're gonna have that open pass if the girls are out of position on Perk Valley because you've reversed the ball a couple times. Easy for me to say up here, not surrounded by a bunch of gray shirts coming at me.
Exactly.
Back door, back door, back door. Come on, back door, gotta move.
Maybe you should have done that more, John. They heard you. And there's some more effort there from Madeline Weaver. Coach Schweifert applauding the effort there from his girls.
There it is.
Big.
That's all it is needed right now. Just go all out. Do things the right way. Don't get into bad habits. If you're going to go for a steal, get that correct hand out there. You don't want to, go fly in, miss it, and then leave your 4 teammates in a bad position. But just give that effort. Give it your all. Don't leave here, walking out of here thinking that you like, I could have done something more. Nah, leave it out there. Why not, right? Why not? You're down 71-13. Why not? Leave it out there.
Line change for Perk Valley. Coming up here about 30 seconds to the end of the third quarter. Good motion there by the Lady Bears. And a great opening there. Unable to convert, though.
That opening there got, after a few ball reversal, that opening was there for Greaves. Did a good job taking it in, and I mean she's she's a young basketball player, and you're hoping now that in a couple of years she takes that ball in there, and that's a little scoop too for her in a couple of years.
Entering the fourth quarter, Lady Bears will have possession of the basketball. Don't know what quite to say with a lead like this, John.
Well, we can discuss the musical for the Bash. The Hunchback in Notre Dame it is this year. You know that?
I have
Aren't
seen
you?
the
Aren't
signs.
you? Aren't you a little? Aren't you a Notre Dame guy?
I am a huge Notre Dame fan, John, but the Hunchback has nothing to do with it.
Oh, it doesn't. It's not about football.
No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not. Although a musical about Notre Dame football would be something.
Oh God, here we go. Don't we already have one of them? Isn't like Rudy considered that?
No.
Don't they sing in Rudy?
I'm not a Rudy fan.
Not a Rudy
As
fan.
a Notre Dame fan, nope.
Are you allowed to cheer for Notre Dame and not be a Rudy fan?
It's an inaccurate portrayal of the history of Notre Dame football.
What do you mean it's an inaccurate portrayal? It's
Dan Devine was never that mean.
Here we go.
That's the problem.
Seriously, you're gonna not like that movie because the coach was too mean? The coach wasn't nice enough? You kidding me?
There's some more effort there from Madeline Weaver.
Go ahead, Madeline. There we go.
Good job, Madeline. It's just a.
Was he the first coach or the second coach?
The second coach.
The second coach.
The second coach. First coach was Ara Parsegian. And apparently, Dan Devine's family is not too pleased either with his portrayal in the film.
They do realize that it's a movie.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Well aware. Well aware.
There,
with a lot of poetic license.
correct, yes. There's the Mrs. Khalid and I went to go see Hamilton this summer. And there is a scene in Hamilton. There's a song where Hamilton wants to be a general or something, and they give the general. I think it's General Lee. I think. Yeah, it's somebody Lee, but he wants to be a general. Instead, Washington gives it to somebody else. Okay, I think it's Charles Lee was his name, and it's just like a little bit part in the song, and the lyrics are something like, oh, and Charles Lee retreated when he shouldn't have, and the army lost. Obviously, Lin-Manuel was a bit more poetic in the way he described that than I did right there.
I'm sure he was.
But I did read something where like the family of General Charles Lee was very upset at Lin-Manuel Miranda for his 30-second portrayal of their of their great grandfather. Like who cares? What are you talking about? You don't have to go to Thanksgiving dinner and hear General Charles Lee complain about it. Who cares?
People find things to complain about, John.
I know. Hamilton was awesome, though. By the way, it was awesome. I'm a sucker for a show tune, Jim.
Yeah, I tried. I didn't go see it on Broadway or anything like that. I watched the when it came on TV.
Yeah.
It was okay. I wasn't as enthralled as the masses were. Put it that way.
I've been. I don't know why. Have you? How do you know Rocky Horror, Jim?
Yes.
You're a Rocky Horror fan. Have you seen it? The movie, songs?
Just the movie. I don't play along and sing along with everything.
I think I must have seen like Susan Sarandon in a movie or something, and I was like, oh, I remember, and I just clicked on one of the songs, and I'm like, I forgot how catchy these tunes were, and it reminded me, and it's probably a good time to tell it right now. It reminded me of a really embarrassing Rocky Horror story, Jim,
Oh no.
that I'm going to share with you and the viewers now. Back, I must have been in like fourth grade, third grade, something like that. And I want to say it was Fox was showing the Rocky Horror Picture Show on TV because A- ABC would never, Fox is like whatever, we'll do whatever. I agrees, by the way, their contact and the layup made a nice cut through the baseline there. We are still watching the game, folks. Made a nice cut right there, good pass, and she's going to go to the line here. Um, so we're all kind of sitting there. It's close to my bedtime. We're watching it, and I remember saying to myself, "Man, these songs are pretty good, right?" Um, Meatloaf was in it. That Meatloaf song, I love that Meatloaf song in it. It got to right around there, and my parents were like, "All right, time for bed." I'm like, "Oh, come on, what do you mean?" And they're like, let's it's time for bed. Well, I didn't realize that it really flips there a little bit at that moment, right? There's a lot of, questionable content for a little 10-year-old kid. I didn't realize that. So a few weeks or months later, whatever it was, a buddy of mine says, "Hey, sleep over at my house on Saturday." Oh, great. That sounds awesome. So I get there. His mom says, "All right, let's go to Blockbuster.
Oh boy.
Each of you can choose a movie."
Great backdoor cut there. Better defense by Perk Valley.
He probably chooses something normal like Mighty Ducks 2 or something, right? And I go over and I find the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And I say, this is the movie that I want to watch. They must not have known what it was or didn't realize what it was because they let me rent this thing.
Oh boy.
And they had to sit there as their 10-year-old son and his 10-year-old friend were watching the Rocky Horror Picture Show together. My mom said that was the most mortified she had ever been when she came to pick me up the next day, and she had to hear from her good friend, my buddy's mom, listen, something happened last night that your son rented a movie, and we got to talk about this.
Uh, the only thing more uncomfortable than watching a movie like that with your parents is watching a movie like that with someone else's parents.
But now here's the thing. At the time, I didn't, and I was 10. I didn't understand everything. But I'm like, oh, aren't these songs catchy? They're like, oh my God, when is this sleepover done? Get out of my house, kid.
About a minute 15 left in the game here. Boyertown has been able to put some points on the board here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they have. They've been able to run the offense a little bit more solidly here in the second half. PB's kind of backed off the pressure a little bit, but what that's done is it's allowed Boyertown to kind of be in that situation that they're going to be in more often than not this rest of the year, where they're playing a team who's sitting back in a half court man, and right there you have Shimikonis kind of telling Engler where she wants her to go. This is stuff that you learn about what your teammates want from you on the floor if you play more, and Coach Schweitzer has had a couple opportunities here to put some different lineup combinations in there, which is important about playing with everybody. And obviously the result is not what the Lady Bears want from tonight, but I do feel like if I'm looking down there at the five on the floor and the couple girls on the bench, can they take a positive away? Something small that each of them did tonight, they probably can.
So that should do it here as Perk Valley brings it up. Lady Bear is going to fall by a score of 77-18. We'll see what they can do moving forward with the remainder of their schedule. And John, I don't know when we'll be back together again.
I don't know. It's just, well, Thursday, you I think are going to be at least
Yes.
announcing lineups here, but we have a boys district wrestling match here
Correct.
Thursday night, which I'll be at taking care of that.
Yep.
Wrestlers did a real nice job, and I have seen 4 wrestling matches this year. Those are the first 4 of my life. It I don't understand any of it, but the crowd will let you know when something big is about to happen. It's
Yeah.
definitely a sport like that, and when these guys are close to pinning somebody, man, that crowd goes nuts, and they are relentless. The wrestlers and the crowd, man, they are relentless, and it's fun. It's a fun environment to be around. I think Gavin Sheridan was the only wrestler from Boyertown who took gold at the PAX, but there were plenty of second and third place finishers, so I'm sure that they're kind of set up nicely here for the team tournament coming up. So that's on Thursday. I I don't see anything until next Monday when the girls are playing Upper Perk and the boys got Norristown on Tuesday.
Sounds good. Well, we'll be back, everybody. Have a great night. Thanks for listening.